We reasoned that you could explain Bitcoin's price movement even if you didn't fully comprehend it. I've seen that you're using Bitcoin more and more. People say it's a terrific thing for our country and relieves a lot of pressure on the dollar. For the first time in all the years I've been studying cryptocurrency, the regulatory climate is genuinely very receptive to the idea of permitting the innovation that arises from Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, which is why I'm fairly positive about it, as well as the trust and decentralization. And I was investing in Bitcoin at the time, unsure if I would do it again. In addition to being quite optimistic about Bitcoin, I also find the current state of cryptocurrency to be very appealing. Tom Lee mentions a number of things in today's video that really opened my eyes, and I believe many of you back home will feel the same way. The cryptocurrency industry is changing far more quickly than we had predicted in 2024 and even 2023, and the kinds of advancements we're witnessing this year are beyond our wildest expectations. However, it is now taking place and is likely to have a significant impact on the price of XRP and numerous other digital assets. That's the exact reason I'm sharing this information with you all in today's video. So, be sure, let's get started as soon as you hit the like button, which will ensure that the entire XRP army watches this video. In my opinion, the usefulness of Bitcoin will increase dramatically over the next 10 years. Thus, simple network value is one of the reasons Bitcoin has reached 100,000. We predicted that Bitcoin may reach 25,000 by 2022 when we first wrote about it in 2017, when it was less than $1,000, since it is an asset of network value. We just stated that if you model wallet counts and wallet activity, which accounted for 90% of Bitcoin's movement between 2009 and 2017, you would reach $25,000 in 2022 and eventually reach six figures. It's true that those two factors still account for about 87% of the total. However, there are two reasons why Bitcoin is about to become much more useful. First, it's getting less regulated, isn't it? It is actually being created by the White House as a strategic reserve asset. And because it's how people used to hold real estate in retail, businesses are included on their balance sheets. Before people recognized how valuable it was to possess real estate, that kind of thing didn't exist. For example, some stores are worth more because they own the building. That is what working capital in the form of Bitcoin is. Consequently, banks have a strong interest in Bitcoin due to stable currency. Because stable coins perform better than the dollar, they may be the Web3 app that is truly replicating financial services. To transfer it, you don't need to use intermediaries. Yes, exactly. You can now use the stablecoin market to shift billions and trillions of dollars. Additionally, a bank is finding it to be more profitable. Make a circle. For example, I won't remark on its valuation because a net income or Tether is a better illustration because individuals who use Tether, like you, don't really know what's going on and it's not public trust. That's where blockchain enters the picture, as it has been proved to work. Knowing the counterparty is not necessary. All you need to do is trust the code. Thus, Tether outperforms the majority of financial institutions in terms of net income. In my opinion, it would rank as the world's third most lucrative financial organization. What is a better bank then? Correct. Building financial services on the blockchain is a better model. Since Bitcoin anchors everything, and you don't need a stable coin until you have Bitcoin, I believe stable coins to be the game-changing software that's demonstrating it. As a result, financial services firms are increasingly acquiring Bitcoin and developing financial services on top of stable currency. Since having a stable coin can be very valuable, even Amazon and Walmart want one. Crypto is also revolutionizing the banking system. Bitcoin isn't at the top then. Yes, because stable currencies are currently only worth $250 billion. It would be useful to model this out once more. You now understand that stablecoins as a whole rank 12th in terms of U.S. Treasury holdings. For example, they claim to own twice as much as Germany. Because stablecoins are assured to last for a long time and never have diminishing assets of U.S. Treasury markets or dollar domination, the U.S. government does, in fact, desire stablecoins to spread. In terms of GDP, its dollar dominance is merely 27%. In conventional financial market trading, it is 88%. In cryptocurrency, 80% of the quoted pair is 100%. In cryptocurrency, dollar dominance is stronger. In the US, stablecoin usage is only 20%. The trading of about 60% of stablecoins occurs in China, Japan, and Hong Kong. As a result, it is increasing demand for dollars outside of the United States. As a result, Bitcoin will keep rising. Yes, since Bitcoin protects the whole blockchain. You and I both contribute to CNBC, and you have these incredible moments where you say, the S&P 500 is going to rise by, say, 1 or 2% tomorrow on Squawk Box. Then it does. How are these items known to you? We perform a lot of sensitivity analysis to try to understand where we are in the market, so a lot of it is evidence-based. As a result, many of the claims we make are very probable claims. But in a way, it takes luck for that to really occur, doesn't it? Because even though something has an 80% chance of happening, it could still be one of the 20% of days where it doesn't. Okay, so let's see if something occurs 90% of the time, and if it has occurred 1,000,000 times. However, it doesn't occur the next 3 times. For example, those 3 calls don't work. Tom Lee raises a number of relevant concerns, but I believe the most significant one is concerning stablecoin dominance going future and how this contributes to the US dollar's growing global supremacy. Because it is in their best interest, the government has every incentive to promote stable currency. As Tom Lee pointed out, stablecoins are the reason why the US Treasury is held in 12th place globally, surpassing even Germany, which has a multi-trillion-dollar economy. When you give it some serious thought, it is truly astounding. Additionally, they rank as the 3rd most lucrative banking organization. Every single big retailer, including Costco, Walmart, Superstore, Amazon, and others, will have its own stablecoin in the future since it will be exceptionally beneficial for them to do so. Like credit cards today, each of them will try to entice you to use their stablecoin with a variety of offers. And this will have a significant impact on how the US economy develops in the future. They will also play a significant role in this when we examine XRP, Ripple, and their stablecoin RLUSD. And in order to guarantee RLUSD's success, it is our responsibility to provide it with the strong backing it needs to be widely embraced internationally. As stated by Tom Lee, the majority of cryptocurrency trading in Korea, as well as in China and Japan, occurs through USDT trading pairings, of course. As a result, these individuals are genuinely driving billions of dollars to increase demand for USDT. And for the US administration, this will be extremely monumental. And that's the reason they're pushing it so hard. Therefore, there is a chance that the RLUSD will be widely adopted and integrated into the banking industry, among other sectors. However, I do believe that in order to gain a share of this market, everyone will attempt to create their own reliable coin. Many of these institutions will likely respond, "No, we're not going to use your stablecoin," even if USDT is currently the clear winner because they are years ahead of everyone else. We're going to make it ourselves. And since we now have the regulatory certainty to do as we like, we're just going to say screw you to all of these cryptocurrency companies. This might be good now, this might not be good. It all comes down to our actions as customers. They will be compelled to start utilizing RLUSD as well if we reject these stablecoins from these institutions and exclusively use RLUSD. I made today's video for that reason. Making sure that the future that we all desire is the one that is realized is vitally important for all of us in the XRP army. Avoid using these institutions that are merely developing these stablecoins so they can profit from them and not share any of the gains with us. In that case, we create our own worst